All right, guys, so we are going to be talking about direct variation today. All right, guys, so direct variation is really, guys, not something that's super complicated. But, guys, direct variation is a specific relationship in which there is a constant ratio, okay? And your ratio can be written as y over k. And it's this ratio between two variables. Oh, no, y over x. My bad, guys. Y over x. Okay? And the reason why I said k is because this constant of variation is what we call k. All right, guys? Now, here's the deal. We're not going to spend a ton of time on direct variation because, guys, direct variation is really just a very, very, very specific type of linear equation, okay? And it's written in this form, y equals kx. Okay, guys? So basically, what this is this is my slope-intercept form, but my b is equal to 0. So, guys, this k is really the same as slope, all right? But it's when your y-intercept is 0. So, guys, this is when, so it's basically when your y-intercept is equal to 0. And so the graph goes through the origin. All right? So if your graph goes through the origin, it's direct variation. If it doesn't go through the origin, it's not direct variation. So guys, if we have a y-intercept of 0, it's direct variation. If your y-intercept is anything else, it's not direct variation. Okay? And so what's nice is we can identify the constant between this ordered pair. So guys, the constant of variation is just the fancy way to say it's a slope for your direct variation. All right? And so first we want to identify this constant of variation, and then we want to write a direct variation equation to represent it. So guys, what would you normally do if you wanted to identify your slope in a problem like this? You would have done y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 minus x sub 1, right? So if you normally wanted to find your slope here, then we would have said, oh, well, 4 to 8 were what? That's 4, right? 2 to 1 is what? Just 1, right? Every time I'm just going up 1 on these, you see that that's constant? Every time I'm going up what for my x? Yeah, I'm going up 1. Well, 1 to 2 is plus 1. 2 to 3 is plus 1. 3 to 4 is plus 1. So, guys, I'm going up the exact same amount every time. What about for my y's? 4 to 8 is plus 4. 8 to 12 is also plus 4. 12 to 16 is also plus 4. Do you see that it's a constant change? Y'all feel good about that? So guys, if we want to find our constant of variation, the way we write this is k is equal to my y over my x. And guys, guess what? It doesn't matter which x and y, which point you pick. You can pick any x, y point. So let's do this 1 and 4. So guys, which one's my y value? 4. So I'm going to say 4 divided by 1 gives me what? 4. So guys, my k is equal to 4. Do y'all feel good about that? So if I had to write an equation, it would just be y equals 4x. It's that simple. That's it. With direct variation, You're just finding that constant, and it's y equals 4x. Okay? The same is true for number 2 here. Okay? Now, I'm not going to go and show you all the different things, but let's see here. If we're going to say k is equal to y over x, well, let's pick, are you guys cool if I just pick this first point right here? Okay, so we're going to pick this first point. So my y is 3. What is my x? -6. Now, guys, just to prove that really you can pick any point except for one, all right? You can pick any, like, watch this, guys. If we did it with these guys right here, the next point, if I pick this y, well, that's 2, and this x is -4. What does that reduce to no matter what? -1/2. So no matter which point I pick, it will still reduce to -1/2. So then my equation would be y is equal to -1/2 x. Do you guys feel good about that? Now the one danger point that you can't pick is 0, 0, right? Because 0 divided by 0, you can't divide anything by 0. It would be undefined. It would be a hot mess. So guys, you can't pick 0, 0. You can pick any other point besides the origin. Do y'all feel good about that? Okay, so I want you guys to find the k for numbers 3 and 4, and then I want you guys to actually write the equation, okay? Find the k, and then write the equation. All right. So for your k, which point did you guys pick? Rika, which point did you pick on number 3? You just picked the first one. Awesome. Okay, so Rika picked this one. So it would be equal to what? -8 divided by -12. So what does that simplify to, Rika? Rika, what does it simplify to? Oh, you're working on it. Okay. Anybody want to help me? We can divide them both by 4, right? So it becomes a positive what? 2/3. 2/3, right? Also, guys, I'm not going to lie. When I did this, you know which one I picked? I picked this one because it was already positives, right? I didn't have to worry about it. And so then it's just 2/3. It's already simplified. So here's the thing, guys. You can pick either one, but when you do -8 divided by -12, it's going to be a positive. And then 8 divided by 4 is 2. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So it's 2/3. So my equation would just simply be y equals 2/3 x. Do y'all feel good about that? Awesome. All right, Weston, what point did you pick for number 4 here? Aha, I like that. So Weston picked one that you don't have to simplify, right? That was smart. Okay, so what would we do here? So it's going to be, which one goes on top there, Weston? 3 over, so my slope is, or my k is, exactly, so it's just y equals -3x. Very good. Do y'all feel good about that? All right, guys, we're not going to spend a bunch of time on direct variation because it's fairly straightforward. It's just basically one special type of linear equations. Okay? So if we look at these guys, I want to identify, are these direct variation or not? So first, I want you guys to look at these and let's say yes or no. If it's a yes, then we want to identify that constant of variation. Okay? So let's take a look at number 5. Is this one direct variation, yes or no? How do we know? There's no b. There's no y-intercept. I like that. So this one is yes. So what is the k equal to in this case? 3. Okay? Perfect. Okay, what about number 6? Is this one yes or no? Yes, it is, because there's no b. So this one is yes. And it's and my k, whoa, that doesn't look good. K equals negative 4/5. Do y'all feel good about that? Okay, what about number 7? Ooh, why not? You guys are correct. There is no x variable. All right, guys? If there's no x if there's no x term, I guess, yeah, then, guys, it's not going to be a direct variation. So this one is not direct variation. So we can't really tell you what the K is. Ooh, number 8 is kind of interesting. Is this going to be direct variation? Yes, but let's solve for y. So we are going to divide both sides by 2 here. So my y is equal to 5/2 x. Now, can we see, is that direct variation? Yes, 100%. What is your K? K is equal to what, y'all? 5/2. So, guys, if it's not equal to y, then just set it equal to y and find the slope, right? Or find the K. All right, what about number 9? Direct variation? What's the problem there? Yeah, there's a negative 4. So this is no. There is a B or a y-intercept. If there's a y, if the y-intercept is not 0, it's not going to be direct variation. All right, so guys, I want y'all to do that for these, for 10, 11, and 12. I just want you guys to say yes or no. And then if it is direct variation, I want you guys to identify the K. So you guys can take about 1 minute to do that. Just identify if it's direct variation or not. And then if it is, please tell me what the K is. All right? Sorry, these are a little fuzzy today. All right, man. All right, guys, so for this guy right here, number 10, yes, this one was direct variation. And what was my K value, y'all? -1. Even though it was just negative x, that's like y equals -1x, right? So your K is -1. Okay? On number 11, this one was also a yes. We had to solve for y, though, and my K was equal to 1/2. Do you guys feel good about that? Okay. What about number 12? Did you really even need to solve it to see that it was not going to be a good one there? No. Yeah, I did, but you didn't really have to. You could have looked and been like, oh, we're going to have a constant term right there that is not going to divide out to 0, so it's not going to work, right? 13 is a yes because it was just a +0, so it was y equals -5x, and so our K was equal to -5. Do y'all feel good? Excellent. Okay, so now you guys can flip your page to number 2. All right, we're going to talk a little bit more about direct variation here. Okay, now I want you to identify graphs. What are we looking for when we identify the graphs of direct variation, y'all? Yeah. Does it go through the origin? All right, let's see here. Does it go through the origin? So, number 14, is this yes or no? Yes. This one works, okay? We're just going to answer yes or no really quick to all of these, okay? Is this one go through the origin? Does this one look good? No. Number 15, no. It does not. Your y-intercept is way up here. It does not go through the origin. What about 16? Yeah. Yay. What about 17? Yay! So if we answered yes, now guys, we need to identify the constant of variation. Well guys, remember your constant of variation is the same thing as your slope. Yeah, it's the y over the x. So guys, you can either just do the point like 2, 3, or you can just find your slope here, right? So we're going up 3 over 2. So that means that my k is equal to 3 over 2. Does that feel good? You guys are tracking me? So the equation would be y equals 3/2 x. Okay, it doesn't ask us to write the equation, but I'm going to write the equation. Let's go one extra step. Okay, we don't need to write the equation on this one because it's not direct variation. Okay, let's see here. What is my k in this case? Let's see here. We go down 1 and over 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be negative 1/4. So my equation would be y equals negative 1/4 x. Do y'all feel good about that? Awesome. What about this guy over here? Ooh, my k would be equal to plus 3 over 1, 2, 3 over plus 3. So that's 3 over 3. So what is k equal to? 1. So my equation would be y equals 1x, or just y equals x. Do you guys feel good about that? So we have identified the correct ones on all of these. Now guys, remember, if we wanted to find what would be our equation on this problem up here? What would it be? My slope is what? Negative 1 plus 2. So it's negative 1/2. My b is 1, 2, 3, 4. So my equation for this one would have been y equals negative 1/2 x plus 4. And that is clearly not direct variation. All right, guys? So if you wanted to go and write the equation for that, you could, but it does not give us that direct variation. All right. On this last little set of steps right here, we want to find these missing values. So if the following of orders, if they tell you that the following ordered pairs represent direct variation, and then it asks you to find the missing value. Well, guys, you can set up a lovely little proportion, can't you? Where you can say, okay, y over x is going to be equal to y over x. Right? Do you guys feel good about that? Then you can do a little cross multiplying and we can solve for our missing value. So, if y is equal to negative 18 when x is equal to 3, find your x when y is equal to 30. Do you guys feel comfortable setting up that proportion right there? Do you guys feel good with that? So if y is 18 when x is negative 3, or negative 18 when x is 3, find x when y is 30. So now we're going to set up a lovely little proportion. We're going to say negative 18x equals 90. So now what do I do to solve for my x, y'all? Divide by negative 18, right? So 90 divided by negative 18 is negative 5, right? So it's x equals negative 5. You guys can check me on that, please. Okay, whew. It's always fun. Oh, or 90 divided by negative 18 is negative 5. Yay, okay, we got it. All right, do you guys feel good about these, setting up the proportion there? All right, guys, so I want you guys to work on setting up the proportions on 19, 20, and 21, and then actually solving for these. So I'll set the proportions up here. Y is 80. Remember, it's always y over x. So 80 over 32. Okay. Ooh. And sometimes you're given the x as your unknown, and sometimes you're given your y as your unknown. Does that make a difference in the way that we solve it, y'all? Not really. We can still do cross multiplication. So for 19, we're going to cross multiply. So that would be what? 80x equals 3200. You divide both sides by 80. Okay. The biggest thing that you have to watch out for when you're solving these guys is you need to make sure you're keeping track of your negatives. Like if you're dividing by a negative, if you're multiplying by a negative, you don't want to lose that, okay? You don't want to lose these guys. So you can see up here for number 19, we got that our x is equal to 40. For number 20, we got that our y is equal to negative 30, because a positive 120 divided by a negative 4 gave us that negative 30. And on this last one, we had y equals positive 5, because negative 40 divided by negative 28, or negative 140 divided by negative 28 gives us that positive 5. Do you guys feel pretty good about these up here? Yeah? Any questions on direct variation? All right. So we're going to move on.